Keeping it real with Shannon live. Because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with this remote learning and in the midst of COVID?
Working for different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put your community first.
Hello and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello to my co-host, Miss Dr. Vanessa, and my co-host, Sam LaFrancis. And we are just so excited and so grateful to have on our special guest tonight. And we're going to introduce him right now.
Absolutely. Our special guest tonight is Mr. Vernell Varnado, a.k.a. PapaSnoop. He's the father of our legendary Snoop Dogg. He's an actor, a singer. He works for the post office for 25 years. He also served in the Vietnam War, received 3 Purple Hearts and numerous combat awards. And he's also have an upcoming documentary called The Detroit Mailman. Let's welcome our special guest to the show, PapaSnoop.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, PapaSnoop, for coming on. It is such a pleasure to meet you. And we thank you so much for joining us. So listen, let's start off talking about the new documentary that's coming out called The Detroit Mailman. So How did that come about?
To my manager / producer, Rob and his wife, Lucinda Boyd. They came about. Let me take it back a little further. And my son's mom passed away 2 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And she was on Rob and Lucinda's board. They do prison reform, and they was walking back to their vans. I offered them a ride back to my son's compound in a limousine. You know, they got inside. We started talking. Found out Rob was from Detroit. Found out he lived on the east side. I lived on the east side. And we took it from there.
Oh, wonderful! Now you was you was a mailman in Detroit for you was a mailman for 25 years. I know you was part in California.
Yeah, 15 in LA, 10 in Detroit.
Yeah, and in Detroit. Mm-hmm. What was that like of being a mailman letter carrier? What were some of the experiences that happened to you? Because we have heard some of the stories.
Well, no, we live more than mail. Yeah, anyway, that being said, I'm 20 years old, right? Fresh out of Vietnam. And the way I came into the post office, my sister-in-law worked at the post office, my sister worked at the post office. They told me they was hiring veterans. So I took the test before I got out of the military. And I got out in January. The first week in March, they hired me. But back then in 1970, they had jobs, man. You feel me? They had jobs all over the place. I could have been a cop. I could have been an emergency man. I could have went to UPS. I chose the post office.
Mm-hmm. And that was a good thing that you chose that, because I mean, you really became famous also in the post office with the employees there in management.
In Detroit, I went to management. I was management / carrier, because in Detroit, back then, carriers was bad about calling in sick in the wintertime, right? You know, Detroit get real cold like New York. And I kept a uniform in my locker because my job was to move the mail, hold down on complaints, and make sure people wasn't stealing. So I was mailman / supervisor. But all the people on my route loved me. So right now, since my documentary is being edited, I'm getting a whole lot of people calling me from Detroit, man, we can haul away, because they know me. They was kids back then, you feel me? So when you have your own route, you form relationships. So I watched kids grow up and beat somebody. I watched kids grow up and get killed. I seen kids grow up and go to jail. So there's a combination of things that you see when you're a mailman.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's never anything that you have not seen. Well, sometimes people say, have you seen it all? I'm sure you've seen it all.
I say I've seen it all. Like I say, I seen people get beat up. I seen people get killed. But like I said, the biggest problem I had was my route was 40% people on welfare. And on the 1st and 15th, anytime other than the 1st and 15th, you wouldn't see them. But the 1st and 15th, they get all dressed up. Their boyfriends come along and they be in the parking lot waiting on you. When you come in the clock out, I got sick of that, man. I said, okay, let me come up with a scheme to get rid of this. Okay, meet me on Ballport on my first block in the Challen Park. I'm gonna give everybody their check. Go pay the Arabs, because Arabs, they own Detroit, really, and they get stuff on credit. And when you pay the Arab, come back and give me $5 a piece. So multiply 40 people times $5. That money kept me going until I got paid.
So you were a celebrity before you realized it. Everybody knew about you in the
He was
first.
a hustler.
Everybody who had a welfare right, we was doing the same thing. Because like I said, if you didn't get them out of the way on check day, just get them out of the way. Okay, give everybody their check. They would bug you all day long. You couldn't walk your route in peace. But once you get rid of them now, I go out there and walk my route in peace. You feel me?
I bet you was they were your bodyguards and make sure you get to catch up with them checks the next month. So they make sure nothing happened to you.
Oh man, you get killed with checks. Come on, you kidding me? You kidding me? But the only thing I would get mad about was like they had kids, right? And these girls, there was a welfare, they was on crack too, right? So one of the worst things that I would see being a mailman when the social service come out and take their kids from them. Kids, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're on crack. They should break them up, man. Sometimes I've seen kids behind it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta talk to their moms, get off crack, man. But they couldn't get off of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, so that has to be said. You've seen a lot of different parts of human nature through that job, working with the public.
Exactly right. But I got to educate on people. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can read all the books you want. Like they said, unless you live it and experience it, don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So one thing about the people on my route, they all love me. Okay, they know I'm going to Detroit. Everybody waiting for me. So I'm quite sure that when I get there, I'm gonna have a crowd. And by me, they knew Snoop because Snoop lived in Detroit. 87 for 3 months. I got him his first job at McDonald's on 8 Mile and Green Lawn. You guys know about 8 Mile Road, the movie, the Eminem.
Yep.
I worked on Illinois. It was a perfect situation. I worked about 5 blocks from him. So his music career really started in Detroit. He was always rapping. Everybody at McDonald's, man, your son's a hell of a rapper. I'm a singer, man. I'm thinking about Motown. I ain't thinking about no rap, man. One day he was rapping. We was going fishing one day. And he was rapping. I was stupid. I had a long day. I don't feel like hearing it. You know what? He told me, he said, Pop, one day the whole world, 15 years old, he said, one day the whole world's going to know who I am.
Wow.
Pretty good. He wasn't lying about that one.
Absolutely.
No, he himself.
So he manifested it. He manifested it. And it came true.
Yes, he did. I ain't mad at it. I mean,
so during his stardom, how did you get the name PapaSnoop?
Dr. Dre and Snoop.
All right.
Like I said, when I retired from the post office in '95, don't forget my son had a murder trial, right?
Mm.
Okay, and I took early retirement to be with him in the courtroom. He won that. So Dr. Dre said, stupid Dr. Dre said, if you're gonna be with us, we have to give you a name. They was calling me Pops. Okay, we're gonna name you PapaSnoop. I didn't think none of it, and the name stuck.
Well, you know, that's awesome. We got PapaSnoop and we got Snoop Dogg.
Right.
So, hey, look, we can't ask for any more. So,
hey, here's what it is, man. Yeah.
So how is it having? So, what is that feeling, and how is it having such a famous son like Snoop Dogg?
Well, let me take it back down memory lane. You know, like I came from a family of 12. My dad's side of keyboard players and songwriters, and one of my uncles was a jazz musician for years in Chicago. On my mom's side, guitar players and singers. So I grew up down south nowhere. All we had to do was go to church down there because my hometown was only 2,400 people. I didn't grow up in the city like you guys did. My sister, dad's mama, Davin, grew up in Dog Pound, who did the album for Tupac, All Eyes on Me. His mother, my sister, was the first one in my family to get into the music business. She got a scholarship to Jackson State, and she went and ARBR took her to Stax Records in Memphis. She was with them until they closed down. She was up for a couple Grammys. So, and then my 4 scholarships came out of my mom's house musically, right?
Wow.
And I did my last year of high school in San Francisco. I moved out in Cali in 1966. But that being said, Snoop didn't having to come around at the right time. And when the money was flowing, because back when he came into the music business, it was money all over the place, right? But people was not getting paid. They was getting jacked, period. So he came on at the right time. He been through pure hell. I've been with him through his whole career. I'm the only father that people know that's has to have a kid in the music business, big as Snoop. I never seen Peter's daddy. I never seen Jay-Z's, Nas. Nobody's father but Warren G and Grew Up and Daz. That's it. I'm trying to figure out everybody clinging to me because I cooked for him. I was an errand boy. I was doing this and doing that for him. All the rappers know me. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you know, as a parent, Pop, you know that's what we do. But you have such a wonderful life story of your own.
Right.
You've also served in Vietnam. You came home with 3 Purple Hearts. I mean, you know, and so you like you have an amazing life of your own. So also I wanted to ask you also, you know, you're from the South. So what was it like, you know, growing up in the South back in the day, you know, coming through the civil rights and all of that?
Okay, I was born in 1949. I left the South in 1966, right? So I was 6 years old when Emmett Till got killed. Okay, and growing up in the South back then, you can look at a white woman. That was out of the question. And people don't realize Alabama was worse than Mississippi. And then you couldn't use the same bathroom as the white man. You went to a hamburger stand, you ordered at the front, they give you a hamburger at the back door. They had night riders at night. I used to wonder why my mom and dad kept us on the back porch at night when it got dark. They had night riders. Got 7 white boys in the truck, 3 in the front, 4 in the back, a chase car with 6 white boys in it with bats, guns, a chain. And the first black person they seen walking down the country road, if you didn't run, you was dead. Period.
Wow.
So you guys know about Emmett Till, Medgar Evers?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Because see,
huh?
No, I was just saying that I can relate to what you were saying about growing up in the South.
Yeah.
I was born in the South, but I was raised here. I came here in New York when I was 9 years old. But my father used to make us go back down south every summer when we got out of school. So that was during the time all of that was going on, when they had the signs up, white only, black only. You can't go in the restaurant. You can't do that. And we wasn't accustomed to that. So, you know, we was at our grandparents' home. So then when we would go into town, we didn't know. We would just walk out into the restaurant to order what we had to get or go into the store. And my grandfather would be yelling at us, saying, like, why are you inside the store? You supposed to be ordering at the window. Why are you over there? You know, because we wasn't accustomed to that, you know. So we had to, if we stayed down there, we would have to get used to that.
That's why Emmett Till got killed. He came down from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
And
right.
the white woman said that he whistled at her, but he really didn't. And about 8 years ago, she said she lied about it. But what happened was his cousin was the one who got the white guys to come to his grandfather's house to drag him out of the house and kill him.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let me ask you, because all you guys have Southern roots?
No, my family's from the islands, from the Caribbean.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, we mix. Everybody's be like one big pot. So we have people everywhere.
Your grandfather grew up down south, right?
No,
I'm talking about
Lottie.
Lottie?
Oh yeah, my grandparents are from North Carolina.
I just told you that, but I'm telling you why. My sister lived in New Jersey for 45 years, right? All her friends was from North and South Carolina, because that was the closest point to get away from the South. All my people went to California, but most of the people on my block went to Chicago. Okay,
Chicago.
Yeah, that's where the jobs were. That's where the jobs were. You had Camel Soup, and you had the steel mills in Gabrielle.
Wow.
Yeah, California was known for aerospace. Okay. This is how my family. My dad's family was in California. Everybody else that went to school, they all went to Chicago.
But what inspired the move from Detroit?
Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna hold that thought, Sala, and we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Take a pause for the calls.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death, or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
welcome back. If you're just joining us, our special guest tonight is PapaSnoop. And we've been having such a good time talking to him. So we want to continue talking to him. So look, Pop, we was talking about, being in the South and being around the civil rights movement at that time. But, when you was working for the post office, you worked like for 25 years. That's a long time. So then after you retired, you decided now it's time for me to do my thing. So you went into the music, into the movie business.
Right.
And so we know that you was on the movie All Eyes on Me. That was a Tupac Shakur movie.
Right.
And the other movie was Make It Rain.
Right.
What was it like working on those two movies?
Well, Make It Rain that's my nephew's movie. Dad's that we filmed in Atlanta. That was all about strip clubs. That's all he do is go to strip clubs, right? I'm not a strip club person. But Tupac's movie was different. I'll tell you why. L.T. Hutton, who wrote the movie, I met him when he was 18 years old, and I was still working in Detroit. And Suge Knight had brought him and Ramsey Lewis. Ramsey Lewis, the keyboard player, may he rest in peace. Brought him out from Chicago because they was producers. And LT wrote the movie. He lived with me for almost 9 months. So when Nate Dogg passed away, I saw him at Nate Dogg's funeral. I mean, everybody was there, right? So LT said, he said, Papa Snoop, he said, man, I'm trying to get the green light to film this movie about Tupac through his mother, Athena. We all knew Athena, right? So in 2016, I was at home in my garage in Douglasville, Georgia. He called me, said, hey, Pop, if I got the green light to shoot the movie, he said, I'm 5 miles from your house. Come down and hang out with us. I was okay. Went down and hung out. But we had worked together before, I was been in the background as a PA, not in front of the camera. So I hung with him, and where I lived there for 2 weeks. So we changed location, went downtown. So I went downtown. I seen all these old cars out there, right? I said, LT, are you using old cars in this movie? He said, yeah. He said, but I don't want the ones out there. If I got one for you, he said, what you driving, Pop? If I got a 1970 Buick, deuce and a quarter for the hardtop. I showed him the picture of it. He said, bring it down tomorrow, and I put it in the movie. So the next day, he filmed my car first, right? So he said, hey, Pop, just hang around. He said, I might have something for you. So I was married during the time, so I went to Orlando, Florida, down to my time sharing. I was at B.B. King's House of Blues, and he texted me, say, hey, Pop, I got 5 scenes for you in the movie when you get back. I come by the set, and I'm going to hook you up. So that's how I got in the movie.
Wow.
Did you ever have any inclination or any desire to be in movies or in entertainment, any form of fashion?
Not really. Sal, let me tell you what. I've been in the movie business. I mean, doing films since '92. Dr. Dre put me in my first video, "Let Me Ride," and "Nothing But a G Thing." You remember those songs?
Yes, I do.
So I started working with him first. Then when I retired, I started working with DJ Pooh. He did Friday in the Watch. Okay. Then I worked with John Singleton. He did Baby Boy for Snoop. Then I went to Darren Grant. He was in the first Friday. Then I went to Card Craig. He did Hollywood Shuffle with our homeboy. You know what I'm talking about?
Townsend.
Yeah, Rob Townsend. Then I went to.
Yeah.
I kept going to different production company because I was getting paid. And I'm knowing if I did with this music business, I might not get paid at all because I seen what my son was going through. I should was showing them, and I didn't like it, but wasn't nothing I can do about it because they were signing there for I wasn't. When you're doing film, man, I was independent. You know what I'm saying? So I can bounce around like that, man. So I fell in love with film, man. So now I'm in a position to do my own thing. This guy called me last night. I was at the Black Expo last weekend in LA City College. I was the host there, and this guy, we got to talking, and the same way we talking, I was telling him about my experience. Now he wants to do a documentary on me about my whole life.
Wow!
Excellent.
In addition to your actor, are you still making any music, like singing? How's your singing?
No, not really. My grandson I got back from LA last night. My oldest grandson in LA. He does a lot of rapping. Okay, Levi Stubbs from the Four Tops. I'm real tight with the sister, right? So she wanted to fly me up to Detroit to do some background singing for her. But I did a song with the Temptations in 2000 on track 7. And, I did a lot of background work for different rappers and stuff, man. But my brothers had a gospel group, and it fell apart and everything. But I still can sing. But at the end of the day, my main thing right now is just filming documentaries, and podcasts. I've done since April. I've done 7 podcasts. Okay, so I just got back from Vegas last week doing one for these guys from Detroit. One of them was Eminem's ex-manager. It's called The Green Room, and I did one for American Cholo. I did one for Rotterdam Radio. So everybody's coming at me because everybody want to hear my story because I've always been in the background. I never interfered with my son's career. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a type father. I don't like all the fanfare and stuff. Now all of a sudden the fanfare is coming to me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So when can we expect to see this documentary?
Soon as Rob and his wife get to our edit and everything, people don't realize that film, if you guys see it on TV, film is a lot of work, man. I mean,
it is. It is. And it's a lot of the editing is hard. Yes, there's a lot of work.
I give you an example. Without editors, you don't have a movie. Without engineers, you don't have music. Those are your main two people because the editor has the last say on who's gonna be in the movie, who you gonna cut out, or who you gonna leave in. You feel me? So when they told me I made the cut and all eyes on me, hey, it was cool. I didn't. I've always been in the background.
Right.
So Pop. So since you rather do movies rather than your singing, I mean, because you can always keep the singing going and add it in. Right. You got it. Truthfully, you got it going on because see, you got like 2-3 careers going on at the same time. Movies, doing the movies now seem to be what you really are interested in doing. What is it when you are doing a movie? Like, what is it? What it means to you to be doing movies and be in movies doing a character? Do you want to do more character stuff in the movies, or what is it that you want to do more in the movies?
I want to do more characters. I'm telling you why. Here's the deal. This is how the film business works. You know Marla Gibbs played on Jeffersons, right?
Right.
She was just up in Detroit with Thelma, right? And her daughter was an acting coach, right? So the first 2 movies I did 3 movies. I did Rhymes and Reason with the Lost Boys. They from New York. Remember the Lost Boys?
Yep.
New York. Okay. One of them got killed right after the movie. Anyway, I was in the movie with them. Then I did Make It Rain, but they really wasn't no bona fide movies. They was more like low budget movies. Tupac was $175 million movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we go with $50 million, then you kind of halfway rolling, right? So that being said, like I said, it was gratifying when I went to I didn't go to the premiere because I didn't feel like being around all them people. You know what I'm saying? People hollering at me, PapaSnoop, get me in. You know how I want to hook up and all this stuff. I didn't want that, right? So what I did, me and my wife went to the movie in Georgia where I live at, and it was good. The good part about it, seeing myself in the movie, playing a character. But the good part about it was when the movie was over with, they showed the credits. When I see my name, Vernell Varnado, that's what I want to say.
That did it.
That was it. That was your calling. That was your calling. But you know,
that signified you had arrived.
Exactly.
You know my name, Vernell Varnado. I almost passed out. I couldn't believe it.
But you know what? Sometimes they say a lot of people who acting, right? They don't watch their own movies. So how did you feel when you first saw yourself for the first movie that you played in?
I couldn't believe it because I really, I was in the movie. My cousin called me from Oakland and said, "Hey, we just see you in the movie." That's what movie. They Rhymes and Reason. But I didn't get paid for it. Okay. I didn't get mad though. I said, "Cool, Make It Rain." My nephew paid me. Okay. That was cool, but I'm saying, but those are low budget movies. Tupac, you talking about the big screen, man? I couldn't believe I made the big screen. That's big as you can get.
Wonderful,
okay?
Wonderful.
Yeah, but you know what? Part also is good too. Even though those was low budget films or didn't get paid at all, it's still a stepping stone. Absolutely. It's still that stepping stone that you have to. Because sometimes when I listen to some of the stars and they say that they've been acting for over 20 years, and it took 20 years just for them to get in a major film to make it. All of these years, nobody really heard about them or anything, but they kept going. They kept striving, and then that day happened. It happened. When they really got a big deal.
You cannot give up because here's like right now I'm rolling right now. Okay, my name is getting out there. Okay, I'm rolling people. I'm getting hits on Instagram. So I'm rolling right now, but I know what it takes to stay in this game because I've been in this game so long. I mean, sometimes people call you don't feel like moving, but you got to move, man. You feel me? You just can't be sitting around when that phone ring. You got to move because you only get so many chances in the movie business. Okay,
sure.
Okay.
At some point, would you like to see yourself go from PapaSnoop to becoming on the screen just simply known as Varnado?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I really would, man. but everybody knows me as Papa Snoop.
Right.
Have you ever thought
they don't know my real name?
have you ever thought you would have an opportunity to play in a film with your son, with Snoop Dogg?
Well, me and Snoop have done commercials together. Okay. But see what happened was the guy who played my son in All Eyes on Me, I had to train him how to act like Snoop. I really did. This how okay. Let me take you back down memory lane. It was the white people that was casting all the actors for All Eyes on Me, and me and LT and the crew. We all knew Pac, and we was with him, right? And all this stuff happened, right? So we got rid of them and told them we do our own casting. So we started sending out emails. People who want to be in the movie. So we found the guy looked like Suge. We found the guy looked like Snoop. We found the guy looked like Noble. We found the guy looked like Fidel. So that was the character. Those are the outlaws that Pac had with him back then. He had Thug Life in California. You feel me? So once we got them, then we started casting girls. But the guys that we got to play the outlaws, homeboy looked just like Suge. So we had to teach him how to act like Suge. Suge played football 3 years. Was around. He had a football injury, and he smoked a lot of cigarettes. He would always be jumping like this. We told him, you look like Suge, but if you jump like this and wink out like that, that's Suge right there.
So look, Papa Snoop. Well, we're gonna continue talking to you in our after show. But this part of the show has come to an end, and we just want to thank you for being on this part of the show, and we want to thank our guests for joining us today, and hope you enjoyed the show, and hope you enjoyed having the opportunity to listen to Papa Snoop talk about his new documentary coming up, The Detroit Mailman.
Right.
And so when that comes out, we're going to let you know when that comes out, and make sure you run to the movies to see The Detroit Mailman. So thank you again for joining us. And as always, we'll see you next time. And if you want to continue watching us, you can stay tuned and continue watching us on Facebook and YouTube for the after show. Take care. And we'll see you next time.
Famous for 30 minutes.
Longer than 30 minutes. And thank you.
Yeah, but anyway, when I come to New York, now I got your info on the real.
We'll see you next time.
That's it.
No,
Today's show
Stick
is
around
sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
Would you like beautiful pictures for your home or your office? Then stop by Faith Art Gallery. They have a large selection of pictures from around the world.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. Keeping it real.
Okay, we back.
Thank you for sticking around for our after show. We was talking to our special guest, Papa Snoop. And before we ended the first half of the show, Papa Snoop, you was telling us about the movies that you had been in. Now, what I wanted to ask you, is there any particular type movie you would like to play in as far as the character? Do you want to be serious playing? You want to play, gangsters, or you want to play serious, characters in the movie? What are your goals going forward?
Well, my thing is, I'm better off at playing a gangster movie. If I've been around, I know their demeanor. Okay. And plus, I'm a street person. I've been around them. You know what I'm saying? So I like to play a gangster movie with suit and tie. You know what I'm saying? Smoking a cigar and chopping it up. You know what I'm saying?
Have you, Papa Snoop? That's really interesting because you make me wonder. Have you actually written any scripts or screenplays or?
No.
Is that something you're interested in? I'm sure you get fielded with a ton of scripts and screenplays all the time.
Hey, Sally, I know I can do it though.
That's all right.
I know I can do it. Now my grandson right here, my grandson right here. This is my backbone. He the one that pushes
There
me.
he is.
Hey, grandson.
Grandson Cordell. Okay.
Hey, good to see you, brother.
He the one drug me out of my garage in Georgia. Said, Grandpa, Come on out here with the family. You ain't doing nothing sitting around every day getting bored. So I'm back out here.
But is there any movie star now? You know, like Denzel and all of them. Even though, well, his is not actually gangster, but he'll been in some terrible movies. What was that one that he would go around?
Training Day.
Training Day. You know. So, who are some of the big shot stars that you would really like to work with?
To be honest with you, you ain't gonna believe this. I'm gonna tell you what I watch on TV. I watch TCM, Turner Classic Movies. Humphrey Bogart, Eddie G. Robinson, and George. I really be like Humphrey Bogart because he was the man. The way he dressed and everything, the way the women dress, those are my movies. I don't care about these new movies. Those are my movies, man. I really play a black Humphrey Bogart. I'm serious.
You could probably do something to bring a new version or a remix to a movie of one of your favorites.
Absolutely.
So think about it. You watch your old movies. Look how the women dressed back then. It was real actors back then. These actors nowadays, they're all right, but they were like Humphrey Bogart and them guys I watched back in the day. Dana Andrews. Now that's what I watch, man. Carl Robertson. You know what I'm saying? Ozzie Davis. You know what I'm saying? Those type people.
Classics.
Chef.
Well, you know what, PapaSnoop, then you might be good in a movie with Leon DiCaprio because he likes to play those type of movies also too. He's good in those types of movies.
Yeah, right.
So that might be a good part. Tell them to call you. Tell them to call you. You want to be in a movie with Leon DiCaprio.
I call Snoop. Snoop knows them, right? He knows all of them, right? Like I said, my main focus right now is get these documentaries out of the way. Detroit Mailman. And then take it from a documentary to a movie. Okay, this is my main goal right now. Then once I get a movie, then I can portray a gangster because I was around these towns in Detroit during the drug era. Okay, and they was bona fide gangsters. You hear me?
Yeah, we believe it. We believe it.
I was around them every day.
I mean, they say gangsters. They say gangsters and gang stuff out there today, but they're not really gangsters like yesterday, like old school.
No.
70s.
Yeah, they more updated gangsters.
Absolutely.
Updated gangsters. That's what they are.
So do you feel that it's not the young people doing it, it's the older ones doing it also too, wanting to be gangsters and do bad things and stuff like that? Do you think how do you feel about that with all of this going on? Oh yeah, and I just had wanted to mention before because I meant to say it when you had brought up about All Eyes on Me. I saw where they finally arrested the guy that they said that killed.
Keefy D.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Keefy D, right?
No, Keefy D. I know him. I know all of them. I've been around him, right? So that being said, to me, Keefy D is two things he's gonna do. He's gonna be quiet because he's from Compton, and he's a blood and a Crip or whatever blood. Because Compton got Bloods and Crips. Either he gonna keep his mouth closed, or either he gonna tell on everybody, right? I know Suge ain't gonna say nothing. I've been doing Suge since '92, but at the end of the day, he didn't kill him. He said his cousin did it. But with him and Biggie and them, you gonna hear all kinds of stories about this. I parted with Biggie a night before he got killed. He invited me to the Peterson building, but we didn't go. Tupac. We had two SUVs ready to go to Vegas to the fight to be with Tupac, and Snoop changed his mind. Snoop said, "Pops, we ain't going." So those two bullets we dodged. Okay. So that being said, they got killed the same way. They was only two rappers that came out with double albums, but they both got killed. And I'll leave you right there. Okay.
Right.
You never know who you really don't know because they say it's the government, this, that. In the entertainment business, it's a lot of gossip. Okay. And you can't believe everything. You can't believe everything you say. Whoever killed you, only they know. You feel me?
Right.
But my thing is, like I told my grandson, as long as they don't call me, because I was around all them guys. I mean, I went to the whole Death Row. Then I went down to No Limit with Master P. But I was around, but I was a spectator. What went on behind closed doors, I didn't know. But one thing I didn't know, Suge was not paying my son. One thing I did know, that nobody walked away with Death Row with a whole lot of money. Nobody. You hear me? They made billions. So I'm trying to figure out where did the money go?
That's something that was commonly referred to as Death Row was at its peak. And I have to give your son credit for taking on the legendary name, because Death Row is definitely a very important part of music history. And that makes me wonder, Papa Snoop, out of everything you've seen so far, everything you've experienced, not just the things you witnessed, but things you've been a part of, what stands out to you as a highlight, one of the biggest highlights so far?
One of the biggest highlights was doing the Source Awards, I think 94, 95. I was still in Detroit, and they had the Source magazine in Madison Square Garden, right? And I had flew out to LA, and Snoop said, "Pop, don't unpack your clothes. You flying back to New York with Dr. Dre and Big C's Tower." I was too. I'm right there in Detroit. Why did you have me flying way out to LA? Got to fly back to New York. I could have flew from Detroit in an hour and a half being in New York, right? So that night when Suge got on stage, I'm quite sure you guys seen it, when he said, if anybody want to come to a record label where the producers that in your videos,
dancing in the videos, and
hey, he was talking about Puffy, and let me tell you this, before the show started, I'm back in the cafeteria at the Garden, and I'm hearing Suge have all his homeboys let them know what he was going to do. But by me working at the post office, I didn't think none of it, man. You know what I'm saying? So when he said what he said, then my son gets on stage and said, "Oh, y'all don't have no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg." I told Snoop right then, grab your boom boxes. You in New York. I know how they rock and roll. Now you gonna piss everybody off in New York. Okay, when that red and stuff, because New York don't have gangbangers. They got foot soldiers. We were standing down by Central Park. I said, when that light changed, we're gonna run across that light. We're gonna run all the way down Central Park. Don't look back. Just keep running. I thought 9 times out of 10, we finna get our ass whooped. New York, man, come on.
That was a legendary time in New York City, and your son stood the test of time. Your son definitely stood the test of time.
Oh, from that point on, think about it. From 95 up to Biggie got killed. The Eastern comes to the West, the Western comes to the East. You realize how much money they lost?
Yeah. Right.
You realize and all that stuff was done on purpose, man. I never could understand it. I never could understand why Suge was making all that money, but he wouldn't pay nobody, man. But look at it now. He locked up.
Because he was Suge Knight. That's why he where he at now. But let me ask you this, Papa Snoop, before we run out of time. I mean, even though, we've been talking about all the excitement, all the, gangster stuff, all the stuff that people think they really want to do. But I want to ask you in all seriousness, because of what's going on today particularly with our young people, our young males and stuff. What do you think the problem is, and what do you think we need to do as people, parents, and everybody? What has happened? Are we missing something with the young people that we're not understanding? Because I know when we was brought up, and we had rules and regulations, we would follow and do what we were supposed to do. But for some reason now, it seems like the young people are just out of control. Well, they're out of control.
That's an easy question. I'm telling you what it is. Okay. Back in that day, my mom and dad was married for 40 years. We had grandparents. We wasn't allowed around grown-ups. Okay. Now these kids, you got kids having kids. There's no man in the house. Okay, let's face it. If a man is not in the house and a woman trying to raise a child by herself, and she got bringing in a different guy in every night, that guy, the kids they're gonna watch that, right? And last but not least, check it out. We're killing one another, but last but not least, thanks to Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, these kids nowadays, if you take your cell phone away, they might kill you. They can live without a computer, but they can live without a cell phone.
Exactly.
These kids nowadays don't have no respect for themselves, and they definitely don't have no respect for people like my age and your age. We targets now. They come up to these old people. They think we're stupid and dumb. Okay, so it's no man in the house. Period. And you got women out here got babies, 4 or 5 different guys. Man, I seen them when I was a mailman. So what I'm saying right now, I started seeing that when I moved to Detroit. Okay, the man ain't around. And another thing that really makes me mad, you got a lot of fathers who want to see their kids, but the mom got mad at him because he's not giving them enough money, and she get a boyfriend and tell her kids, "Oh, you doing more for you than your dad is." So they lie to their kids. Let these men see their kids and teach them how to be a man. These young guys nowadays, their mom won't let them be a man because they're doing everything for them. My dad brought me up to be a man. I brought Steve up to be a man. Okay,
right.
Those days are gone. Ain't nothing we can do. Okay, they pray and hope they change, or we can't change it.
But how quick do you forget that? Well, how quick do you forget that it was the adults that paved the way for them? Some of them just think that they're here and everything has come like just now. It's a historical component when things have been made, policy changes, civil rights movements.
Right.
and all these things. And we have, when I say we, I'm talking about the older generation, have paved the way for them to even have the things that they have today, or even to be able to have that voice today.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know about New York, but let me tell you, I've been living. I moved to Atlanta in 05. Now Atlanta got gangs, and these kids come from good families, doctors and lawyers and stuff, but they want to be a gangbang. You got guys coming from LA, get gangs, going down there, enticing them to be gangbangers. Now I belong to the Sheriff's Association out there in Georgia. Okay, so I go to meetings and everything. I got some friends of mine try to talk to these kids, man. And guess what? These kids, they don't want to listen, man. Oh man, you know what you're talking about. They think we done. They think we don't know nothing, man. But I told this one young kid, man, it worked for me. Guys like me laying the foundation down. You would be who you are. Okay, I try to be a role model, man, for the ones who willing to listen. But if they're not gonna listen, what can I do?
Mm-hmm. I think also too, we're gonna close out now because we don't want to keep you too long. But the thing about it is, I just feel strongly that parents need to stop being afraid of their children. And I think that's why a lot of the children take advantage of the parents and stuff, because the parents are afraid of them, and they know the parents are afraid of them. See, back in the day when our children would say something to us, they might lose a teeth and they can't even see for a couple of weeks or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't about calling the police or whatever, because you can call whoever you want. Because if you need ASC to come and get you, then they can just come and get you. But see, we weren't afraid of our kids. And these kids, did they know that the parents are afraid of them? Because some of the parents even say, "Oh, when I work for the Board of Ed and stuff, so I was around a lot of parents and the children, and I would see how the children would talk to the parents. So when I would say to the parent, why you allow their child to talk to you like that?" And they would say, "Oh, well, if you hit the kids, ACS is going to come for you." And I would always say to them, why are you worrying about ACS? And you out there working and taking care of this child, he's disrespecting you. You need to put that foot where it belongs. So this way, you need to save your child so the police are not knocking them in the head, or whoever else is going to knock them in the head or whatever.
Yeah, but don't forget television has a lot to do with it too. Because some of these kids be a bit like, television is not friendly no more. Okay, think about it.
Right.
Yeah, these kids they watch the stuff they shouldn't be watching, and they become grown ahead of their time. But the thing about me, what I think about right now, as blacks right now, we're doing worse now as blacks than we did when I was coming up. Because we came up, we were trying to be somebody. We were trying to make a name for ourselves.
Exactly.
But they don't realize that these kids that's coming from India and all these foreign places, they taking over the United States. And to be honest, the United States is no longer the United States. The United States is a foreign country.
Yes.
Down in Georgia, every store I get to, who own it? Indian. Okay, Arabs on it. I don't see no black-owned stores in Georgia. None.
None.
Well,
on that note, Pop.
Wow.
Let me say, let's stay in prayer for our children, our people.
Right.
And whoever we can save,
save.
If whatever young person we can save, we're gonna save them. We can't save everybody, but we can save some. Because truthfully, I've learned in dealing with the young people, they're just looking for attention. They're looking for attention. That's all they're looking for.
Agree with that.
They want to be disciplined. If you kick that butt like it's supposed to be, they might say something to you, but they appreciate it, because they'll come back and tell you later, I thank you for doing that for me at that time. Because I've had young people come back to me and say, thank you, Miss Shannon, for saying to me what you said to me. Because see, I'm not afraid of them. I tell them right quick, pull them pants up. You're too handsome to be walking around with your pants falling.
I hate that. Walking around with 2, 3.
You have to say something to them sometime.
Right. And one thing I can say, I've never had a problem with Snoop. Me and Snoop relationship, we were like brothers than the father and son. I've never had a problem with Snoop. You've always been a humble kid. The way you see him on TV, a lot of people who know me and Snoop, they call us twins because we just slept. Snoop, I've never had a problem with Snoop. Never.
Right. So he know how far to go. That's why you have a problem with it. He know what to happen.
The only problem I have with Snoop.
He know he might get another nickname besides Snoop Dogg. He messing with you.
The only problem I got with Snoop, he smoked too much weed. I told him you messed up the ozone layer. He meant the whole. That's why the weather's out there. Raining, ain't no rain. Mississippi River's drying up.
But it's legal now. But it's legal. It's legal now, so you can make some money on it.
My son made weed legal. Okay,
he made it legal.
He did.
It's on him.
And that's why he's still famous, because he talks about that he smokes it. He's not ashamed to smoke it. So everybody just knows about it. So that's what I'm saying. He's so cool and everything. Well, when you see him, please tell him that we love him.
Okay.
And that we thank him for being the person that he is. And hopefully one day we might get to meet him. Hopefully we might get to meet him.
But anyway,
so thank you again, Pop.
I want to thank y'all for having me on. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
And we thank you for coming on and being such a fun guest. This is what we love, being such a fun
I got
guest.
you my phone. When I come to New York, I'm gonna holler at you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
I gotta make it, man.
Thank you again.
Excellent.
So, thank you all for joining us tonight for the after show.
This is my great granddaughter right here. Hey, Double.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? How are you? And look, everybody, watch out for the Detroit Mailman when it comes out with PapaSnoop, because we're all gonna run to the movies and see it pop, and we'll let you know what we think at a later time. So thank you again, and hopefully you'll come back and join us again.
Just let me know. I'm down.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Vanessa, thank you. And thank you for watching. So as always, we'll see you next time.
Okay, you too.